Well, hello people, and welcome back to episode 4 of Yoakley, our vanilla CS2 build. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Really enjoy the big box vibes we installed last time, with lots of places to park and bowl and just enjoy a good time. And I've actually left the game running for a little bit, and have come back to the recording session to find that everyone is dead. Of course. Or awaiting an ambulance. Simply the way that money accrues in CS2, it's such a more dragged out simulation compared to CS1. You have to wait significant periods of time to be able to afford any of the major services. And with the constraints of the, the vanilla start and the services we have to place and importing costs and whatnot, I'm just having to leave the game to run for ages. I left it almost running for 12 months since the end of last episode just to get to 1.1 million. It's a very different simulation experience than it is in CS1. Either way, we clearly have some issues to fix before we work on today's episode, which will be forming up what I like to refer to as a town centre, if you like. A place for posts, picnics, pictures, appointments, and lots more. Kind of a bit of a centre town hub, I want to build that with lots of mixed use as well today. However, we clearly have some issues to fix, so let's have a look what's wrong. Interestingly enough, their current most pressing issue, despite the fact they're surrounded by blight, corpses and garbage, is the fact that they have bad mail service, which I do find a little bit funny, to be honest. But that's okay. First of all, let's fix the death issue here. Currently our only collection is the church, which is very low capacity and probably isn't suitable for a town of pretty much 12,000 now. So let's do this first. I'm actually going to grab the crematorium, which we unlocked in episode 1. It's quite pricey, but it's the best death care solution, I think, by a mile. Now this building here pretty much fits my criteria because it kind of looks, and we've used it like this in Kokai before, but it looks like a municipal service building alongside also sort of being what it is, right? If you drove past that on a street, what do you think? Crematorium? Absolutely not. It looks like a town hall, doesn't it, where a council perhaps congregates, or some sort of municipal service, welfare, etc., which we'll also place today, by the way. Discounting the hearses, of course. That makes it look like death care. But otherwise, I like it there. And it's also going to help service this enormous amount of dead that we also have. It has an upgrade for additional processing speed, which we'll use at some point in the hearses. And then also a refrigerator, which allows more deceased citizens to be stored before cremation, which is wonderful. So this will take care of the dead issue, waiting for hearses to get out. Next up we have ambulances, so clearly our healthcare, yeah, there we go. We have lots more sick now, so we simply just need a new clinic. There's lots of very nice ones, let's have a look. So the base vanilla one is the same price, but we get double the capacity with the northeast one, don't we? Goodness gracious. That's a great deal, isn't it? Double the capacity in this economy, literally. Crazy. But again, this looks like another great little town centre asset, doesn't it? So let's start to cluster this around this centre here where we've got this town hall. So how about another big, important corner building there, right? Again, we have upgrades for this for extra capacity when we need it. But there go said ambulances. There's 6 of them. Should begin. I think that's one more than the vanilla one, right? It is indeed. That's a great deal, that, isn't it? That really is good. An extra ambulance and more than double capacity for the same price. I'll be having a lot of USA Northeast Clinic, I think. Cashback, wonderful. That'll fix that. Next up is the garbage issue. So currently, our economy can't sustain the placement of a recycling centre. It's 88,000 a month, which is very expensive. Significantly more than that of the landfill. So at least for right now, these landfill sites over here are temporary installations. At some point I want a rail yard here, and we will move at some point to either the full incineration or recycling. That's mid to late game though. So we'll have to do another landfill. Again, I want to sort of maximise the space I have to fill here, so we get max storage capacity. I'm going to bring it square off here, because I actually want to go ahead and immediately place an upgrade for it. I want one of these here. Might even be able to place in a second one there, actually. Why don't we have a little attempt at that? Oh, we can. It sits and fits, right? There you go. And then I'll just re-drag that down here as well. Fantastic. So a little modular landfill. That should have double the processing speed of the one next door. Or not double, I guess plus 20, which isn't an amazing buff, is it? But, every little helps, I suppose. This one can also store more as well. So that should take care of all our major problems. Another major problem is actually high crime. If we have a look at our crime stats too, we have a lot of prisoners. And if we come and click on the police station over here, there's currently a lot of arrested criminals. They only have the cell capacity for 25, and there's 91 in there, right? That's got to be pretty crowded, hasn't it? Pretty much breaching human rights at this point in Yokley. So we need another police station. So let's come in there here, and again, I'm after perhaps a more unique building here, right? So before we come into the police station, let's just bring this system here to a close. So I want this couplet to continue. And again, I'm referencing what's happening in Ithaca here. We can see as this one-way system comes to a close, that it kind of comes into a nice sort of tip. And then there's some nice landscaping around here if we want to enjoy a bit of a street view as well. Just a nice bit of inspiration as to how a couplet system can converge back into what is an asymmetrical road back out of town, right? With pretty much mixed use zoning, that, isn't it? Exactly what we can place. There you go, city centre, right? It's the downtown, it's the town hall. And you can get inspiration for asset placement here. We've got schools, we've got mixed use. I think a street view can be very powerful for putting CS as well. Ithaca is wonderful inspiration for the project we're building here. So that's what I'm going to do over here. So I want to make sure we keep whole grids here, especially this part of the downtown actually. So let's mark our center point on the road here with a little road there. And then we can hit that road guideline at 80 meters. So let's bring that up. And then we're bringing that asymmetrical road, which is going to be a pretty key road, I think. This is going to head up and out of the city here, where I imagine we'll have a lot of sort of quintessential row homey districts, which I think will be quite nice. And then that's going to follow the river up the hill and far. And then that can follow the river uphill and far away there. Let's also switch our direction here too. And then we can have this little 3-lane asymmetrical going back into town. I also want a road that's going to cut through this middle section as well. Or do I want to preserve this for parkland? I'm not sure. We'll see what develops. So let's add some little slip roads off of this as well. Let's do quite wide here, so 141 meters. I really want to stretch those vanilla junctions. Try and utilize CS2's road tools as much as we can. Now with this road here, this also continues off, so what I am going to do is come back to where the grid is whole. I probably have to redo that second slip lane there, that's okay though. But I want to draw this one out, which should hopefully give us a continued whole grid, which is still important here. And from this junction here, yeah, we can then begin to reform the grid, and then all this makes sense and has a place to come through to. Let's also do that as well. Again, we'll probably run the roads with the waterways, and we can complete that initial beginner road frame that we set up in episode 1. Let's bring this one in here. I also want grid snapping off, because I don't want to get pulled away here. Let's bring that all the way through, and then that last connection will just give us a tiny break, but we can live with that there, right? So let's reintroduce that slip road we had here. Can we come into the same junction? We can. It's a little janky though. I'm not a massive fan of that. Probably not then. Let's do a little bit shorter. Let's do that. And then we'll also use this as an opportunity to bring this grid whole as well. And then new blocks can form up around this one. Now with this road, I could do with buying this tile now probably. How much is it? 28,000, yeah, that's fine. Let's just open it because I want to definitely reconfigure this road here, right? This definitely needs to be perhaps a touch wider now. So let's upgrade it through here. I think I'm just going to go for 4-lane. Don't want the divided again, as long as we're staying in that same space. And I don't want the 4-lane to go all the way down here, actually. I'll probably change it to asymmetrical as it leaves the town centre, which I'm going to say is about there, alright? And then change those asymmetricals facing into the busier town centre, alright? And then we'll keep this 4-lane running back to that main roundabout. Now our grid positioning did switch here, didn't it? Which is okay, I don't mind that. Can we upgrade this bridge without it complaining? I hope we can, because we can't do with the other one. Yeah, we can, that's okay. So let's go 4-lane highway. We'll have that there. Then as it joins into town, we'll switch back to that medium road, and we just want to turn off Snap to cell length there too. It's actually giving us some pretty nice griddage all the way back through there. Let's also not forget to disable our vanilla traffic lights as well. That's very important in vanilla CS. The traffic lights are pretty much everywhere. I do want them on key junctions. I'm going to keep them on the couplet. But all these ones can just give way to the arterial. And then down here, let's give a cute traffic flow system. Let's go large, very large metallic roundabout with flower bed. Oh, invalid shape, you're being serious. Can we use a smaller one? Damn it. We'll have to, can I place it here? Oh yeah, okay. We can just reconnect that national road then. That's fine. Just push that out. And then we can probably add a nice little curve into this as well. I imagine eventually this road's also going to go up the hill as the hillside suburbia develops. Probably hooking into that road, but I don't want to buy too many tiles at once. Again, you guys pretty much agreed last episode that we should keep it very slow paced, and I will. Let's just have that one come in there. And then we'll also chuck on some asymmetrical roads here as well. Just at those major junctions, just so people get a few extra turning lanes. I reckon we probably can actually justify the larger roundabout here now, can't we? You want that one? I think so. Everyone should move a lot happier through here now. And gives us a much kind of more important aesthetic, doesn't it? It gives us this sort of vibe again, doesn't it? You know, if we come over, you're getting that kind of like Main Street vibe, aren't you? That's really what I make sure this area has. Anyway, to get enormously distracted by the road frame, which we did need to expand. It looks like the bodies are slowly being cleared up, aren't they? That's fine. Yes, let's add in that police station that we very desperately need. So I'm a big fan of the USA Southwest police station, which only gives us 25 jail capacity. Modern police station has 36 jail capacity and is only 18 grand a month, which is quite tidy. But I reckon we'll go for this. Now, does that look like it'll sit and fit there and centralise within the couplet? Yeah, I'm happy with that. I was bringing some of that zoning we saw in Ithaca into play. We have medium density and commercial demand, so now's a good time for mixed use. I think certainly for here we'll use southwest, although I'm quite tempted to see northeast as well. I think southwest. So what we do want to do here actually, these buildings here have gotten a little bit too tall for me. These Japanese apartments, I might actually rezone these at some point. Maybe today. It's a little bit too tall. I wish I would have done these as row homes, so we'll probably replace them. And beyond that, I think as we come into the town centre, let's get some USA mixed use on one side. Do we want to go... How deep will it grow? Pretty much 4 deep. Okay. Let's definitely continue this all the way around here as well. And this is what it'll look like come the end. Great stuff. I mean, that's pretty much exactly what we've just seen in Ithaca, isn't it? Modern apartments and mixed use on the bottom floor there. But having this with our corporate system should be really cool, I think. And what I do also want to do with some of these side roads too, like Garland Street, is to bring in some parking roads as part of the town infrastructure. So definitely want the actual road, not the alleyway ones. And let's do some angled parking. Let's have that there. It does chunk it up a little bit, but I think it'll look really cool. Now, do we want to do another one? Not there. Let's keep it generally around the town centre again. And I think even some of these as well that we've just upgraded. With that now, it's going to slightly change our angles here too. It does lose us a bit of zoning, but we can correct it. Don't want it to run for that long though. That does look a little strange. So let's break it with that alleyway, shall we? I wouldn't mind also including some high density housing if we can include it. Let's draw in some different sizes. Again, I don't want skyscrapers here. If they're going to grow into enormous blocks, then yeah, again, is it going to be that tall? It's going to be a no, isn't it? I think getting used to the scale of CS2 in the early game is the game wants you to get big very quickly, which I find quite unnatural, to be totally honest, in terms of the gameplay experience. You guys know how I play, I'm very slow. Let's also continue our low density southwest housing in these blocks around this way. Probably keep all the style coming in terms of, yeah, it can run pretty much all the way through here, right? We won't notice these gaps in the grid too much there, but not to worry. Yeah, all this can just become low density when it's ready to grow up. Just want that outer lying sprawl around this main city centre, which this will all provide. Let's also have a look at some offices. We don't have the other ones unlocked yet, although, again, don't really want towers Chinese stuff is very tall. So we'll stick with vanilla and southwest. Let's have this over here. These vanilla offices grow very nicely in big 6x6 spots. So we can fill some of this awkward space we stumbled across around the back of the assets here. And then let's fill in some southwest. See if we can get some growing in these more awkward spaces around. And then why don't we include a little bit of a parking design here or something, like parking for locals. Let's bring in angled alleyway. And I don't want no side of building, just snap to grid. And then bring that in. And then with all that around, we can just pretend like we've got some little parking there, which will probably work nicely for the apartments at the back as well, actually. I did actually have a bit of a discussion in the comments last episode too, just while we mentioned parking, about the use of the vanilla parking lots over here. Yeah, they seem really underutilized. I'm not sure in terms of, because I know Sims have a whole pathfinding thing now in CS2, don't they? I've actually made some of them free, and then left some of them to continue to charge $10. It doesn't seem to make that much of a difference, so whether or not this is a bug, I think it might be the fact everyone that wants to visit here might live in a walkable distance, because the houses are pretty close and the Sims will walk quite far. So I reckon maybe when we get houses, say, you know, over here, much further away, perhaps they will be the ones to drive to those parking lots. And vice versa, you know, when there's parking lots over here, these people will be the ones to drive. So I guess we just got to kind of see really how that pathfinding vanilla behavior behaves these days. We still got tons of garbage. So are you guys okay? Yeah, you actually got even more vehicles out than you have. How have you managed that? Well, they just summoned more vehicles, did they? We'll get picked up eventually. And we have one of those towers in. It's a nice building, but that's definitely like city centre building, that, isn't it? That's not for here. Let's get some of the big 6 deep Japanese stuff in. That's really nice, that. Lots of southwest too. This is definitely my favourite commercial specialisation. Let's get lots of this on the main street. Keep the office going too. Let's get some next to the police station here. Actually, do you want to perhaps get a more municipal service asset here for the centre square? Let's do post. What else is annoying them? Yeah, it was post, wasn't it? Let's give them a post office. Eastern European one's not bad. That's the vanilla one, isn't it? Japanese. Okay, in terms of capacities, the Japanese seems a decent deal, doesn't it? If not, the Eastern European is actually quite nice. Gives us 10 post fans, double male capacity than the Japanese one too. How about I have that on that corner just there then? And that should give us post service finally. So the post service, we need to actually give them post boxes as well. And the first option here is for mailbox. So we want to use this pretty much like bus stops really. Let's go ahead and place, let's start with our main corporate systems, right? So hanging around here, you'd certainly expect to find some post boxes. We'll leave a few around the street. And then again, down our main corporate system here, we'll run post boxes around. I want to keep it kind of around the commercial centres really. And then the occasional one just out in the suburbs. But again, still kind of on the collector arterial systems really. And then let's maybe have one over here by the kindergarten as well. Cool. So we got 23,000 bits of mail a month, which is quite a lot. But while we're also talking about comms, do we need to discuss our coverage? I think they're okay with it, aren't they? Don't seem to be complaining. All garbage services will go away. They're all very happy. They're all saying they're very wealthy, although we have dropped into the negative again at the minute. Yeah, that'll just be our new services balancing out, won't it? It's fine though. We're getting lots of new growth today, so that will soon balance out again. We're also getting some medium density demand back too, which I'm very happy about, because I would like to have some row homes around here. Definitely is part of the town centre here too. So in terms of row homage, I think I'm always pretty happy to stick with southwest stuff. And bring this road down here as well. And then we'll use these spaces for some row homes. Let's do some USA Northeast stuff. How deep were you, Ray? Is it all pretty much 4x stuff? Yeah, it doesn't really grow much deeper than 4, does it? You just see there how it wants to grow. Okay, with that in mind then, we definitely want an alleyway, otherwise the block will be too big. And let's do it. So if we want 4 back to back, let's break up the blocks like this. This will give us much more consistent row homes and also allow us to really maximize the space we have here too. Which will also help me kind of slow down the expansion as well, you know. Let's grab northeast row homes and then we'll drop them in patches of 4 here. Cool, so we pop back into the positive cash flow now. It's still saying unreliable. Is that just because you've got to get through the backlog? I'm guessing so. Doesn't have any upgrades this one either. But that's okay though, I don't mind that. Let's begin to think about some park space in the middle here. I definitely want lots of landscaping through this space. So first of all, let's grab some park assets. Now I wouldn't also mind including some more of leisure venues stuff around here because it's very usable leisure venues. We've got the Colour Plaza, which will sit in very nicely there. I might actually have this in the central square in that case, you know. I think I want some buildings next door to this. Let's do some more southwest offices here. Maybe place this on a different angle because I do want to do pathways through here. So with our vanilla detailing tools, let's bring in some pathwork. And we'll create some nice pedestrian crossings too. I don't want snap to side of building or road guideline here. I'm just really looking for grid snapping. So I bring you across there. Can we turn that off without losing the crossing? We can, yeah, that's fine. That's what I wanted. And I think to landscape the city centre even further, I'm actually going to add the divider into just this central bit of road. And give it its trees and grass at the same time too. I think that'll just really help, you know, as you kind of see the road hierarchy really fall away as you leave the city centre. I really like that visual. I think that's very cool. I might even go just division on that section as well. Yeah, but with no grass or landscape in there, right? Just the divider. Fantastic. CS2's road tools really do make the vanilla experience significantly more palatable. It's really fun just to like what we did with the train junctions last time, you know, in the industrial area. Really enjoyed how that turned out. I just want to tie all the pathways in where I expect people to walk. So I like the little off-angle pathways there just cutting through the middle. That'll make our town centre nice and walkable here, won't it? Very sweet. So let's get down on the ground and see how this looks. Lots of people being rushed to the clinic, it would seem. You guys, yeah, you still have plenty of capacity. We're alright yet. Should have significantly improved our healthcare, yeah. Our police capacity, we need more prison availability, but we won't be placing a prison for a very long time yet. Aren't they exported? I'm pretty sure they are, aren't they? Like you send them to another city if you can't imprison them yourself. Like we've sentenced 92 people but have nowhere to put them. I think that's brought our crime probability down as well, hasn't it? We've also got pluses for abundance of entertainment now. Unreliable mail service is much less of a debuff. Although high crime risk is still a problem for them, isn't it? We could build a small jail, which increases jail cells. Can provide a reduction in local crime rates and lower pressure on city prisons. I kind of like the sound of that, you know. Let's do this. Where do we want it? It's going to be... Can we afford it, actually? Yeah, we're okay. Obviously, it has to be within orbit. Can we do sort of on the edge here? Will that work? Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that there. So that'll hopefully please me even further and bring that crime rate down. We are getting not enough customers. Are we getting lots of people coming in? We should be. We can complete this northeast row home district now at least. It would also be really cool as well to have some office mixed use. I think that would be a great addition to the base game. We're getting overlapping items here, so what I am going to do is bring it down without actually connecting it on that last one because I don't want to lose the office space there. And then let's build up more of our row home blocks. So we have this Very nice little crawl of medium density in the way onto the, or into the way onto the, which will give us a really nice crawl of medium density, I think, as we head toward the town centre here. Do like the northeast stuff. It's very nice, isn't it? Real variety of assets too, which I like. Nice little brick here. How did the Chinese stuff turn out? This should all be level 5 now, right? It is indeed. And they are a little bit more themed at the higher levels, but you know what, I don't mind them. They're okay. Those Japanese apartments, I'm not massive on anymore, to be honest. Or maybe I just need to complete the block. Maybe that's the problem. I think we will. Let's complete the Japanese apartment block and we'll see if we want to keep it. So this is just Japanese medium density stuff. Let's let all that grow in. We do have a lot of demand for high density. Do we want to consider some low rent housing? Where's the noisy areas here? Let's have a look. In around the service assets area, isn't it? I think we'll probably have an episode, you know, working on a social housing estate, because I'm not a massive lover of them here. Like, they kind of need to be in their own spaces, really. We do have the French stuff, which this is all level 5 now as well, isn't it? It is. 174. What's their wealth like? They're all wealthy. Modest. Poor. Okay, yeah, it is a mix, to be fair then, isn't it? Our parish church is full of the dead. Hopefully our crematorium will help with that. I'm not actually sure if it will. Can we empty you? No, we can't. I guess you'll just have to be processed then, will you? There's no more upgrades we can add to help with that, so I guess it's just full until they process. Oh wait, these traffic lights are still here. I thought I removed those. Can we not have them without the pedestrian crossing? Yeah, there we go. I thought I'd turn them off. Maybe I didn't. There's also one more municipal service asset I want to add in here as well, which is welfare. And I think I actually want to go with the vanilla one in this instance. The modern architecture one is very nice, but we don't really have a lot of modern architecture around here. It'd be a bit of a clash, I think. We'll probably save that for elsewhere. But the vanilla welfare office actually looks like it'll sit and fit there, and you know the rules. It sits, it fits. Or if it fits, it sits, rather. It's the other way around, isn't it? Let's actually make sure we don't have these parking roads here on the residential streets. And I think we'll just transition into kind of the town centre here with a little bit of path action just hooked into the existing corners. There we go. Get some trees through. I have lots of trees in that city centre plaza. Wonderful. That earns us a total of 8 grand an hour now in a pretty healthy economy, and our Sims are much, much happier than they were. High electricity fees is still an issue for them, is it? We're only importing 2 and a bit megawatts though. Is that all? Suppose so. Well, the garbage finally got picked up from the small coal plant, which is good. Very nice. But yeah, beyond that, everyone's happy, and the city's in a much better state, although garbage doesn't seem to be getting collected from these 4 properties here. I'm wondering if that might be a bug, you know. I'm going to replace them with a different zoning style. There you go. That'll force them to regrow or something. We also hit yet another milestone, which gives us 225,000, which is incredible. And we also get the Northeastern Inn. Wonderful. Yeah, we also unlock high density commercial as well, which is probably too tall for what I'm after here. Mixed use is about my current threshold with height. But I think we're in a pretty good spot for a detailing time lapse. There's a lot of landscaping to do around the city centre. We've also got some blocks over here to complete as well, haven't we? Going with our row homes, so we get this transition in the end, if we can appreciate it. Yes, please. Look at that, isn't that great? So I really like that. But yeah, more apartments and generally tie off the little loose spaces that are developed around here. The one thing I did want to check actually, which we'll do together before we start detailing, was if I could bring in a perpendicular parking road. Find here. Can. Add a roundabout on it. Not without destroying the buildings, which is fine. That's wonderful though. Okay, we'll even get some offices behind on those awkward spaces too. Fantastic. We will leave them to grow then. And that'll give us some nice behind office car park as well. So good then, parking roads, they've made such an enormous difference. Again, just remember to kill those traffic lights. But either way, let's do some detailing of our sort of municipal services mixed-use town centre. And then we'll be right back. Otherwise, guys, that'll do it for today. I'd like to thank you all so much indeed for watching till the end if you've made it this far. I always love these types of builds in Cities Skylines, what I refer to as kind of the town centre, you know, the village centre, that sort of cluster of services and commercial and things to do. There's always a lot of fun to put together, especially with the variety of service assets we have in CS now. Again, continuing to use pretty much all of them really as we continue to crawl across this map. And they've been massively needed, you know, the extra capacities is always great to help the simulation thrive a little bit more. Now, we really need to address the garbage situation soon, so we'll probably move to recycling a little bit sooner than I expected because those landfills are really not great for either capacity or just also throwing air pollution out across the city as well, which isn't great. But everyone in the city is much happier than they were at the start of the episode, and certainly much more alive. And this little town space has come alive with eateries. I use some of the plant plots as kind of bollards where people might stop and get a bite to eat on their lunch break. And we can also see the beginning of the row homes beginning to climb up the hill as well, which will look really sweet as that vibe continues to develop. I also stretched out some of the services to reach the commercial lots next door on a bend. I cannot describe how much of a quality of life improvement that is. That was the biggest ball ache in CS1 vanilla, was those curves where you just have the big awkward grass triangles between the buildings. I really tried to avoid that, but with stretchable services now, it pretty much eliminates the problem. An enormous shout out to the patrons, YouTube members that support these videos with a roll call to our golden egg patrons: Andrew Perez, Bad Wolf, Casino, Darius Lara Roberts, Louis Adlam, Michael W, Phoenix MD, Spartan Angel, Tiana Sannon, and Wesley Kip. Thank you so much indeed for your incredible support. If you want to get involved in that Patreon instant gaming, best ways to support the channel. Otherwise, enjoy today's cinematics, and I will shut up and leave it there. Let's thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.